GMGP, good morning, good people. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to wake up with us. You're sick. You're sick in the head. There's a lot of fantasy football shows out there, but I promise y'all, they not like us. Brock Bowers, you looked a little quicker than fast. What does that even mean? Redraft, dynasty, best ball, high stakes, we got you covered. And that's MVS and Justin Watson with some of the dopest tools designed to help you cancel out the noise and dominate your leagues. If there's a white wide receiver named Antoine, sign me up. Maybe it's cultural. I don't know. In season or off season, rain, sleet, hail, and snow, comma, semicolon, period, next sentence, to bring you the most actionable and entertaining content on YouTube. You don't go buy the dip on the Titanic.
Quarterback that you love, D-Bro. One of the best values in fantasy football.
Prop bets with my man JRich.
Is that yes! Let's go!
So wipe the crust out of your eye, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake y'all asses up with Ray
and Jay
in the morning.
My God.
How good is
Dude.
he? How good is he? GMGP. It is Friday, November 14th, 2025. Y'all decided to wake y'all asses up with myself and my brother from another mother, Jordan Richard. You can find him at your boy JRich on X. This is Wake Up with Ray and Jay every Monday, every Wednesday, every single Friday. And this week, we gave y'all a special 3-hour banger on DDFFB. Me, JRich, Scott, Shane, Ty, Brandon, the DDFFB crew. We went for 3 hours. Rookie mock, dynasty startup mock. We did a dynasty family feud game. Very fun, very engaging. We talked all things fantasy, all things NFL, and all things ball. So if y'all weren't there on Wednesday night, first of all, shame on you. You should be subbed to the other channel. Make sure you subscribe to DDFFB. But then you can go back. You can go back, check it out on replay. Pull it up, 3 hours, something fun to do this weekend. Our mid-season mayhem premium live stream event. It was the first one, and I'm going to just let y'all in on a little something. We're going to keep running these. So the next one that we're going to do, Royal Rumble, and that will come in the spring. So stay tuned, stay locked in for all the information on that. Different flow, different show, but same gas, I promise y'all. So appreciate y'all being in the building. What's up, Jorge? What's going down with you? And yeah, TGIF, 100%, baby. Thank God it's Friday. Let's get to it, baby. Lando truly was a banger. Appreciate you being there and in support. I'm trying something new, trying something different for y'all. So I'm hopeful that y'all enjoyed that and y'all like that joint. All right, we got one. Wednesday was fire. Appreciate you, big dog. Thank you for being here every single day that we do the show. I see a lot of familiar avatars and a lot of unfamiliar @ symbols. So I'm going to just say what's up to y'all. And here we go. One right here from Terrence Bassell, 6603. First time live. Love the show. Appreciate you, man. Terrence, appreciate you being there. I think it's, what's that? Bosell, 6603. Appreciate you. If I'm mispronouncing it, that's what old GQ does. The pronunciations sometimes are a little off, but hey, it's all love. We appreciate you being in the building. We do have a lot to talk about Thursday Night Football. JRich's boy, Big Hendo. Big Hendo has been balling over the last week. Mike Vrabel couldn't do anything but smile. Justin Fields still can't complete a damn pass, but man, can he run the ball? Just use him like Taysom Hill and we'll all be good. We got a lot to talk about. Injuries, players coming back, players being out, some young, underrated players going into the week who are getting talked up by their coaches that they should see more opportunity this Sunday. The Friday shows are for y'all, so hit us up in the comments, engage in the chat, hit the thumbs up button, like the stream. JRich, how you doing this morning?
All right, anytime you get a win on Thursday Night Football, it's always great, and it's even better when my boy, Treveyon Henderson, gives me a hat trick. He ain't Big Hendo for no reason, right? We haven't called him Big Hendo from his freshman season at Ohio State for no reason, Ray. Yeah. And he's finally showing it on the NFL football field. Now, Ramondre Stevenson's going to be back. But people are already asking the question, how does Mike Vrabel put this lightning, this player, back in the bottle when Ramondre comes back? I don't know. He's going to have to figure that out. But the Pats are 9-2. Big win on Thursday night. Mini bye going into next week. Feeling great, my friend. Feeling absolutely fantastic.
I honestly don't think they can. You know, we have been wanting and waiting and hopeful for some Henderson usage, and for the first 7 weeks, 8 weeks, we didn't get anything. And then when he was kind of forced to do it, when he was forced to put him out there, good things were happening for Mr. Henderson. Yeah, but let's jump right into it, man. Let's get right into the game. Last night, the Patriots won 27-14 over the Jets. The Jets came out hot early, like a 8-10 minute drive to start the game
drive,
off. Crazy, just picking up first downs, moving the ball downfield. Justin Fields, JRich, on the evening, he threw the ball 26 times. So I'm like, okay, 26, 15 completes for 116 yards. 116 yards, JRich. Just take the under passing yards for old Justin Fields week in and week out. But the real story, or the big story, Jay, was in fact Treveyon Henderson and what he was able to do on the game. 16 carries, 62 yards. Wasn't a ton, it wasn't a great rushing performance, but man, when you punch it in 2 times, when you punch it in twice, it doesn't matter if your average and your per carry is kind of low. 2 touchdowns on the ground, and you saw the juice. I think he forced like 9 missed tackles, all these yards after contact. You could just see, give this young man some more opportunity and good things are going to happen. Drake May wasn't asked to do much except be efficient, right? 25 for 34, 281, 1 touchdown, 1 sack, no interceptions, just a clean game. Diggs got involved. Mac Hollins, 4 for 64, should have had a 100-yard day if he would have caught the ball at the end. Come on, Mac. We pumped you up on. I had to start Mac Hollins. Hollins this week in the league. If you watch the Trinity show, Scott Connor and I said, hey, if you need a desperation flex, I think Mac Hollins is absolutely playable. And what happens? Absolutely playable. You got to trust the Trinity. Dearness Johnson was elevated, but nothing there because Hendo got it all, 19 carries. And then on the other side of the ball, nobody else. Adonai Mitchell, people, Ray, man, I want to buy. I'm in. I'm like, I'm out. No, thank you, Adonai Mitchell. Dropping passes left and right in the game. Jets lose another one. They're 2-8. The Patriots, the only 9-win team right now in the NFL. And, well, the Indy's not playing, so is there another 8-win team? Is there another 8-win team? They may be the only 9-win team after the weekend because
Philly, I think, has 8 wins, don't they?
I think Philly's got 7. Philly's got 8. I think Philly's.
Oh, Denver is the only other 8-win team.
Denver's got 8.
Denver beats Kansas City.
Okay, so if Denver beat Kansas City, then they could be the other 9-win team. But talk about your boy. Talk about the Patriots. The jerseys were cold too, man. Them jerseys were cold. So talk about New England.
Yeah, I mean, this is a game script that I think a lot of people expected, right? Obviously, heavy run game. The offensive line was okay in this game. Henderson did have 70 yards after contact on his 62 yards rushing, so he was definitely doing more with less, especially on that first touchdown run. He made that guy miss in the phone booth, and you were all like, oh my God, just get in the end zone.
Nasty.
And the offensive line ultimately got him there. You talked about the Mac Hollins drop. It is what it is. He's Mac Hollins, right? You don't expect him to make the big plays out there, but he made plenty, and he was definitely finding holes for Drake May when he was under duress. Drake May made a ton of plays in the pocket when he needed to. But yeah, this is just a good team that's playing really well right now. Again, this performance is not indicative of what they're going to do every week because they're not going to play the Jets every week, but I believe they have Cincinnati next week, so you should probably expect another pretty good performance from the quarterback, from the pass catchers, and from Treveyon Henderson and probably Ramondre Stevenson once he comes back. But that 90% snap share for Treveyon Henderson was definitely telling, right? Yeah. We've seen Terrell Jennings, who was a bit banged up, get on the field. They did give Dearness Johnson some carries late in the third quarter. But outside of that, that was really just some rest opportunities for Henderson. He got everything that he could have possibly got basically in this game, 90% snap share, which you don't even expect from the number 1 running back on a team in just about any offense.
I know.
So they gave him every opportunity he could have got, and he delivered on that, including the receiving touchdown, right, Ray?
Yep.
We've been talking about how this player is arguably a better receiver than he is even a running back, and he finally caught 5 passes for 31 yards and that touchdown to get that third touchdown. But what do you think about Henderson moving forward? Because Drake May is playing so well. Stephon Diggs is kind of like the best option for this team right now, even though he's a bit up and down for fantasy purposes. But the real question everyone wants to know is, what are you doing with Henderson, and how good can he be down the stretch?
You're playing him every week. I mean, I started him in 3 spots. You're excited. You're hopeful that he can continue just to be explosive. What I'm not going to project is this turns into some, 25 touch per game running back. I don't even think you really want that. What was most encouraging to me, there wasn't going to be anybody else to really tote the rock last night. They weren't going to get a ball to Dearness Johnson. That wasn't going to happen. No Jennings. It was his usage in the receiving game, right? It was the fact that they utilized him in the receiving game, which we really hadn't seen that much this season. There's been a lot of Ramondre Stevenson getting a lot of the receiving work. So I do think when the Rhino comes back, having him on the field is not a bad thing. Get him out there, let him take a couple of touches, keep Big Hendo fresh. But I think the big thing is you could just see the explosiveness that he brings to the table with every single touch. That's why you give players like that the rock. That's why you make sure they touch the ball, minimum 15 times a game, and you do it in a variety of different ways. You don't just slam them up the A-gap like they were doing early in the season. Remember that? When it was just straight up the gut runs for Henderson. You get creative. You get him in space. You use him on the outside. You use him in the receiving game, and great things can happen because he is their most explosive player, point blank, period. There's no receiver, no tight end, no additional running back with more juice and electricity than Henderson. So you're hoping that the coaching staff is like, hey, we got to protect our Ferrari a little bit, right? You don't want to just draw that. I'm not taking the nice whip to the rec baseball field down the street, JRich. It's rocks and shit all in the parking lot. You're not taking the Ferrari over there often if you don't have to, right? So having somebody else take a little bit of pressure off of him at times would be great, playing him in tandem with somebody else, but making sure he gets his 15-plus touches in a variety of ways every single week, and then you're just going to ride that production to success because he's good. He's fast, he's explosive, he's quick, he's shifty, he's fresh. Didn't he just look like a young player? He just looked young, right? He looked like a young spry, fast, exciting player. Get him the ball, right?
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing for me when you compare the first month of the season, Treveyon Henderson usage and the way that he was deployed within the offense to now, is now defenses actually have to account for his ability to run the football because he's not just a player who's there for pass pro, who's there to catch passes out of the backfield, run wheel routes. Now when they run play action with Treveyon Henderson, it actually forces the defense to come up to the line of scrimmage because he can break a big play on them, and they may actually hand him the ball. And so now you're not going to have the situation where Ramondre comes in, they don't know whether they're going to run or pass. When Henderson comes in, they're going to pass. I think that's the big difference here. I was watching very closely his pass pro the last 2 weeks. It seems like he's doing a good job. Definitely seems like he's improved from the Miami incident where he got benched for pass pro. So that's the other side too. It's not just the fact that he's playing better on the ground, running the football, catching the football. It's the little things that he's doing that will hopefully keep him on the field moving forward.
Yeah, 93 yards, 3 touchdowns, 30 damn fantasy points on the night for Treveyon Henderson. It was a big night, and there were some other big stats. He is the first Patriots rookie to put up 3 touchdowns in a game since Rob Gronkowski in 2010. Henderson, over his last 2 games, JRich, 243 total yards, 5 damn touchdowns for Henderson in his last 2 games. I mean, hell, you kind of want some of your players to get 5 touchdowns in the whole season, let alone in a 2-week sample size. So this is what we were hoping for. When you drafted him, when they drafted him, this is what you were hoping for. Right here, according to Next Gen Stats, he gained more rushing yards after contact than total yards, as you alluded to, 70 versus 62. He forced a career-high 9 missed tackles across 24 touches while playing 56 of 62 offensive snaps, according to Next Gen Stats. Great game for Treveyon Henderson, and you got to feel good about those stocks right now. You got to feel good, and this is... Maybe this is a bit of a learning lesson, another learning lesson in the word patience for everybody, especially when you draft rookies, because what do people say in the offseason? You draft rookies for what they might do at the end of the year, right? For the opportunity that can come down the stretch as you inch towards the fantasy playoffs, et cetera, et cetera. And that means sometimes that shit's not going to happen early, right? Sometimes it's going to be rocky. It's going to be rocky road out there for the first 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, but this is what you buy into, and sometimes it blows up in your face. You could see the situation isn't good, so it won't matter, even at the end, right? You get to a point you're like, hey, even if this Trevor Etienne gets in at Carolina, the team's not good, it's probably not going to matter, right? Caleb Johnson, you could see early, probably, who knows, right? Who knows? We could get to week 17, Warren is out, and they're just like, F it. Here you go, Caleb Johnson. But a little lesson in patience, because I know a lot of people were very frustrated by Henderson's lack of involvement early. But here we are, week 11. He is producing like a high-end running back, especially for fantasy football. Just you got to be patient sometimes with some of these rookies. Now, there's some other ones where you just look at the situation like Matthew Golden. I don't know, man. There's a lot of receivers that ain't getting the ball already. So I don't know. That one, I think you can kind of read the context clues that it may not happen this year. There's some others out there. But for the case of Henderson, your patience has been rewarded.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where, it's tough because you never want to give up on a player like this. I mean, this player that we all hyped up all offseason going into August, it was, man, Treveyon Henderson is going to be the next great running back in the NFL. And it just never really happened. And there was certain people who kind of jumped off the hype train, and that's fully acceptable because you can't wait forever, right? And there wasn't a lot of positive indications that things were improving within the Patriots and his involvement within the offense. But it's kind of like the Emeka Egbuka situation, right? The difference is with Egbuka is that everyone got injured at the beginning of the season, and he got on the field extremely quickly. And once he got on the field, they weren't taking him off because he was so good. You just hope it's going to be the same thing for Treveyon Henderson, right? They utilize him more. He's getting more opportunities. He's showing very well in those opportunities. You can only hope that Vrabel continues to give him those going forward. But the question will be now, Ray, is like, how far do people overreact? Where does he jump in those dynasty ranks, and what are people willing to pay to get him? Because back-to-back top 5 weeks, that's going to vault you up very high in some of these ranks.
And I think some people, it's okay. Like I'm looking at this conversation in the chat about Ramondre Stevenson's contributions. If y'all really think he's not going to touch the ball when he's healthy, you're crazy. Like he is, right? He's going to be involved in the offense, but that's not a bad thing. Like here's what I'll say. This is what you like to see. This is what was positive about last night. When there was nobody else there and they had to rely solely on him, he got the job done, right? Yep. He played 90% of the snaps. There was no other running back there. Like, hey, man, this is your week. We're not going to have any relief for you. I'm sure that conversation was had before he went out there and took the field, that you're going to be out here a lot tonight, so get ready. Get ready, right? You're going to handle a big load tonight, so get ready. But when there is another player there that can help and take pressure off, that's football. Like this idea that he's going to get 100% of the touches moving forward is a little crazy, right? Yeah. That doesn't mean Ramondre is going to put up and produce what Henderson can, because he can't. He's not that type of player, but he will serve a role. He will be on the field, and the Patriots will use him. So chill out. It's going to happen, and it's going to be okay. It's not that big a deal. It really isn't. Unless they go out there and give him all the work, which I don't think they will.
Yeah, I mean, the question I think for a lot of people and where they're going to be disappointed is I expect Ramondre to continue getting the goal line work, the short yardage work. But I think that right now he's still the better player. Now, I do think it's positive that Treveyon broke that big play for that first touchdown, and they were able to push him into the end zone. But I would not be shocked because of the way they utilize Terrell Jennings if Ramondre is still that short yardage and particularly the goal line back going forward. So you still may need Henderson to break some of those big runs for touchdowns. But I definitely think he showed a little bit in this game that he's capable of pushing back defenders, breaking tackles in the open field, and working up the middle. Because even when you pulled up that spray chart from Next Gen Stats, it wasn't like it was all lateral, outside zone, outside the numbers. It was still very linear, up the hash marks, through the middle, and he was taking what the defense gave him rather than trying to jump cut outside, use his speed. He was just simply hitting the hole and playing within the structure of the offense. He played great. To see.
He played great. He played great. Speaking of the Jets, JRich, this news dropped yesterday as well. Garrett Wilson placed on injured reserve for his knee injury. He's going to be out at least the next 4 games, and honestly, does it even matter when they can't throw for over 100 yards barely week in and week out? Yeah. What a disappointing season for Garrett Wilson, and I'm not going to lap this one. I'm not going to lap it because it was an injury. Because it's an injury. I'm serious, man. I'm not going to do that because it was an injury. I'll just say I was not, and y'all have been here. Was I in on Wilson this year? No, absolutely not. And it had nothing to do with I thought he would get hurt. It was the fact that they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
I was mocked, ridiculed, persecuted. I mean, they cast me off, JRich. I was on fade Garrett Wilson Island, and I honestly don't even think if he was out there it would matter, dude. Adnan Mitchell absolutely did not help Fields out. Dropping that deep pass, that was a beautiful ball.
That downgrade was big.
That was a beautiful ball. Right? Yeah. And Fields can throw a nice deep ball. We saw him do it in college. He can throw That was a beautiful ball. You gotta help your quarterback out. But by and large, there's no fear in this Jets passing attack, and they're going to have to upgrade their quarterback. Whether that's a veteran, they trade for somebody, they draft a rookie, they've got to upgrade their quarterback position in 2026. I'm actually, after the show, I'm doing a mock. I'm doing a full 32 team first round mock. It'll drop on the channel a little later this afternoon, but you got to go quarterback for the Jets. They can't go anywhere unless you've got a true threat. And you see New England, even like Drake May had damn near 300, and it felt like all he did was just move the offense, right? I'm just moving the offense on Thursday night, get my little mini bye, let's get a dub and get up out of here. We're 9-2. I'm one of the leaders for NFL MVP. Like it's just cool to see his maturation and development over this past year from his rookie year to now. Absolutely, Jay, one of the better quarterbacks in the league already. And it's his second year, so it's not like he's having that second year slump. I do think this just continues. The Patriots have found their quarterback of the future. I know you're very happy about that, and I'm sure Jets fans are hoping for the same thing here after 2026. Now, there was some more news, Jay. Let's talk about some other teams, some other players, some other news. We didn't touch on this one, but Marvin Harrison Jr. Out. He's out this Sunday at appendicitis, and he had to have surgery for that. I don't know how many weeks this type of injury will last, but no Marvin Harrison here versus the 49ers. This is an NFC West battle, so this is wheels up Trey McBride, right? I mean, it's always wheels up Trey McBride, but even more so now.
Yeah, we're going to see, right? Can the San Francisco 49ers kind of hold down Trey McBride because he's basically the only player there now? There is no Marvin Harrison Jr. to kind of dictate a bit of coverage his way. You know, you have to mark at least both of them. It'll be all Trey McBride all the time for the Arizona Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett trying to get a big victory over the 49ers. Going to be tough. I mean, Brock Purdy will be back in this game, right, if everything goes well, and so will Ricky Pearsall. So you're getting back more reinforcements on the offensive side for the San Francisco 49ers. So Brock Purdy coming back. Ricky Pearsall expected to be back as well. But only Trey McBride on offense for the Arizona Cardinals. They'll probably have a huge game, but it will all kind of depend on if this game can even stay competitive, because with Purdy back, with Pearsall back, obviously Christian McCaffrey is going to be great in this game. As long as Purdy isn't too rusty coming back, they may put up a lot of points on this Cardinals defense.
I think he should look okay. I mean, hell, he ain't played. I don't even remember I can't even remember the last time he's played.
Since week 4. I think both him and Pearsall haven't played since week 4.
How was he before he got injured? I honestly don't even remember Purdy this year at all. I don't remember any Brock Purdy starts.
Only played in 2 games. I believe it's week 1 and then week 4 against the Jaguars when they lost. He's been okay, 65% completions.
What was his week 1 stat line?
Week 1 was 277, 75%, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Week 4 was 300 yards, 58%, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Took a sack in both games. So 4 picks in 2 games is pretty rough for Purdy. But he went against Seattle, and then he threw the picks against the Jaguars when the Jaguars defense was actually playing well. So it kind of is what it is. But again, this is the Arizona defense. Isn't a bad defense, but it will depend on how Brock Purdy plays. But I think they're just going to lean on Christian McCaffrey in this game. And I just think having everyone kind of back and healthy, for the most part, obviously Brandon Ayuk is kind of the lone exception there, but we don't expect him back for a while anyways.
No.
But we'll see how Purdy plays.
I cut him in the league. I'm just done.
You just had enough?
Bye.
I mean, John Lynch said they expect him back this season, but this season means week 17, week 18, not week 14, right?
I just dropped in redraft. I just was like, I've been holding this 0 all year. I got to go. We got to get up out of here. More injury news, JRich. CJ Stroud out for Houston this week. CJ Stroud is out, so long neck Davis Mills gets another start this week against the Tennessee Titans, JRich.
Yep.
This should be one where, even without Stroud, I don't want to say no problem, but it should not. They should win. They should win.
Yeah, Houston Texans are the only team that shut out the Titans this season, so they're probably going to do it again on Sunday.
No CJ Stroud. 2 weeks. This is 2 weeks in a row for the concussion for CJ Stroud, right?
Yeah, on Wednesday, he obviously didn't practice, and they said he still has concussion symptoms, so they already ruled him out. Davis Mills is going to start, and we'll see, because the next guy up to see if that happens to is Jackson Dart, right? Because I did believe there was a report saying they're going to play it pretty cautiously with Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I heard that.
See where he's at. So hopefully he is back, for week 12, but much like CJ Stroud, who got ruled out early in the week last week, ruled out early in the week again this week. So hopefully Dart's okay, but he could be another one who could miss multiple weeks with that concussion.
Same team, JRich, the head coach. You know how you love that head coach talk. Nobody loves head coach speak more than JRich. DeMeco Ryans was pumping up their rookie running back, Woody Marks, JRich. DeMeco Ryans said that Woody Marks has done a great job in this Houston Texans backfield. We got to continue to feed him more. JRich, this is, That's
good. It's a good matchup against Tennessee.
Woody Marks. This was, I believe, last week was the first time he actually had the most carries on the team in a single game in the season over Nick Chubb. Talk about Woody's upside here down the stretch. Again, in this theme, in this spirit of rookies producing later in the season, having to work through some things. DeMeco said, if you didn't hear the interview, he said there are no more rookies. He said, you're not a rookie anymore. We ain't got no more rookies. You've been here all damn year. It's week 11. You're a veteran player now. Let's go. It's time to go. So talk about his upside and the potential for Marks. And I don't know what Houston's schedule is down the stretch, but if that defense is going to remain tough, he's going to get the ball more. I kind of like maybe a quick little buy. If you go get you some Woody Marks before stuff starts to pop off, do you think he can be a potential league-winning type running back?
Yeah, Woody Marks is going to be really interesting, right? So this week he's in Tennessee. Good matchup there. Next week they do have a home game against Buffalo. I think that's actually on Thursday night. So maybe you could see a Henderson type of resurgence, a 5-day stretch for Woody Marks. Maybe 2 touchdowns Sunday, 3 touchdowns against the Bills. People may think the Bills matchup is tough, but the Bills are 3rd in the NFL in rushing yards allowed on the season with over, I think that's 146 per game or something. But it will depend on how that offensive line plays, right? For the Texans, that's always been the X factor. It doesn't really matter how bad the defense is against running backs. If they can't block anybody, then it's not really going to help. Now, after that, they have at Indy and at Kansas City. Arizona, decent matchup, and then for the fantasy champion or semifinals is the Raiders, championship against the Chargers. So I think he's more of a get you to the playoffs type of player. Then once you get to the playoffs, he's kind of in some tough spots. But definitely, if he continues to show out, the X factor for Woody is that they will utilize him in the passing game. Even if they do go back to Nick Chubb a little bit in terms of rushing the football up the middle, they can always use Woody in the receiving game. But I have to ask you, what are your concerns for the post-Davis Mills era in Houston? Because CJ Stroud is going to come back. And how do you think the offense will look once Stroud comes back? Because I think the number one question for us is, when is Stroud and this offense going to turn it around? It really looks like they turned it around with Davis Mills, but we need to see that with CJ Stroud at the moment.
It doesn't matter what I know where you're going, but it doesn't matter because Stroud will be back under center, right? What will it look like?
I'm not saying quarterback controversy, but I'm saying, do you think it will be as good with Stroud back?
Maybe they figure something out. In my opinion, watching them, handing the ball to Nick Chubb 15-something times a game is suboptimal. Like, it just is. So having another and you got to think, there was this portion of CJ Stroud starts where he didn't have Nico Collins. They're not giving the ball to Woody Marks. So I think they are starting to figure some things out as they're still very much in the wild card hunt. So, yeah, I think when Stroud gets back, it should be, if it looks good this week, when he gets back in, deploy the same type of game plan, and I do think Stroud can find success. I'm not as worried. With Nico on the field, with Kirk back out there, them getting the young players the ball, and then having an explosive running back absolutely helps out on top of a very stout defense. So I'm not as worried about that. I just hope Davis Mills comes in there and keeps the train rolling versus Tennessee. Keep the train rolling versus Tennessee, because the offense is, at least the skill position players, looking better and better by the week for Houston. Still a long way to go, but I do think Woody Marks is a nice buy. People want to know Woody or Harvey this week, JRich.
I think it's probably Woody.
I would roll with
I think
Woody.
I just like the matchup, right? So Harvey has the Chiefs. Sean Payton already came out and said that should J.K. Dobbins miss, which we kind of expect because of the injury, that Harvey would probably get a large workload in the game. But it's still the Chiefs, right? This offense led by Bo Nix has not been very proficient at all. And even still, I just don't know what to expect from Harvey in this game. And I'm sure, like you'd say, we probably still expect some McLaughlin, some Bidet, and all the other running backs kind of mixed in. it just probably won't be the RJ Harvey show, and it probably won't be the Woody Marks show, but when you're playing the Tennessee Titans, it's going to be very easy to find success and opportunity. They put up 26 points on the Tennessee Titans last time. I think they can find similar success in this one as well.
And if they get up on Houston early, Jay, they're going to run the ball, and Woody will touch the ball. I know
that was the game that Woody had 17 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown. That was actually the Woody breakout game where he caught 4 passes for 50 yards and a touchdown. So that was his last 2 touchdown game that he had, was the game against the Titans at home.
Was the game against the Titans. And just for some additional context, the Chiefs, because we talked about this on Bleacher Report, make sure you scan the QR code on the break and follow us on BR. The Chiefs have been excellent. Since 2022, they've allowed 1 rookie running back. I think they've faced 51 rookie running backs since 2022. They've allowed 1 rookie running back over 100 yards since 2022. That was Kenneth Walker. He had 107 rushing yards on like 26 rush attempts. Cam Scatterbu had 100 total yards this year, but it was 60 on the ground. They're very stout run defense. They do not play around with rookie running backs, especially rookie running backs who are not accustomed to really touching the ball out of the backfield like that, which RJ Harvey, go look at what's his season high in carries on the season. So this is not just a plug and play. I've been rumbling behind the scenes ready to go. Like, he's going to be trying to fill it out too.
Do you want to guess?
Season high, and 9 rush attempt. 9.
So the one time where the game really got out of hand, you'll remember this game. It was the Cincinnati game when they destroyed Cincinnati and they just gave Harvey carries at the end of the game. He still only had 14. But outside of that, his season high is 7.
7? I said 9. Yeah,
right? And that was a blowout game where J.K. Dobbins wasn't playing and they just let Harvey run the ball at the end of the game. Like, that's the only reason why he even got double digits. But other than that, it was 7. And even that game, Ray, was also a blowout because that was the Dallas game. So you're talking about 2 blowouts. It's when he saw 7 or more carries. The Cincinnati game and the Dallas game where Denver absolutely dominated. His next highest was 6, and that was against Tennessee.
Yeah, I think he's going to play well. I think he's going to, especially in the receiving game. But this is Kansas City off of a bye. Like, where's the game at? Is it in Denver?
It is in Denver. Denver's 5-0 at home, but Mahomes is 13-1 against the Denver Broncos in his career, tied with Steve Young for the best record in NFL history through 14 starts for any player.
People
so
say they just don't trust. People in the chat saying they just don't trust Peyton, man. They just Peyton shenanigans, just Sean shenanigans, Peyton. So you never, we get out there and it's feed Jaleel McLaughlin. You never know, but I would play Woody. Woody had a good game versus Tennessee last week. I kind of trust that a little bit more, but here's the thing. If Dobbins is, his foot, if it is effed up like that to that degree, then then RJ get another. Who do they play next? Is it a better matchup than damn Kansas City? Who they got next? Denver.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me who Denver's got next. It's got to be a better matchup than KC. So, if you don't play it.
Bye week. But then they have Washington and Las Vegas, followed up by Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas City again for the fantasy championship. So your fantasy playoffs
KC
of Green Bay,
week 17?
Green Bay, week 15, Jacksonville, which isn't great. Better to pass on Jacksonville than run. And then Kansas City in KC for the championship. So you really don't want those Broncos because you got Green Bay and Kansas City, which will both be very tough matches.
And Kevin said plus Bo could be terrible and completely nuke the offense. I think here's what I'll say. And let's give the appropriate amount of love and shout out to J.K. Dobbins. He hadn't just been like a serviceable running back. He's playing like a top 10 back this year. He's played like a top 10 running back this season. So losing him is a big piece of the offense. And over the last 4 weeks, his rush attempts just continue to climb while Harvey's dipped. So listen, Harvey's going to play. Harvey's going to play. He's going to get opportunity. If you don't trust the matchup, then it is what it is. I would go Woody over Harvey in this one if it were me, though, Jay. I'd go Woody over Harvey.
Yeah, Dobbins has played 10 games to most players who've played 9, but he is 5th in the NFL in rushing yards, only behind Devon Achane, Rico Dowdle, James Cook, and Jonathan Taylor. He's been awesome this year. Shout out to J.K. Dobbins, man. He's been good. But we've got more injury news and players returning, JRich. I know a lot of people are ready for this one. I know a lot of people have been waiting on that Bucky Irving, JRich. Bucky looks like he is back. Seen participating in practice. Hopefully. Again on Thursday. I believe Chris Godwin was also back at practice. I don't know if both of them are going to play, though.
You don't know if they're going to play?
So this is the first time Bucky's practiced in over a month and a half.
It's been almost a while.
He's been out for ages.
But I mean, he's practiced all week. He's practiced all week.
He has been practicing in a limited fashion. I believe he's still doubtful, though, in terms of where his injury status is, for the game. Now, that could change, right? We don't have Friday reports, and he has been back at practice. Now, it's been a long time. I think there's a better chance that Chris Godwin suits up than Bucky Irving does. But we'll see, right? It's good he's at practice. It's a positive sign. Again, the Bills matchup is a good one, but I think it's more doubtful than questionable as to whether or not he plays. But it is good to see him back on the practice field. Maybe we do get Godwin back, though. I think the crazy thing is that when is Mike Evans back? Is it next week? I thought he'd be back. I don't know. I ain't heard anything about Mike. I was reading through the injury reports this morning, and there was nothing on Mike Evans.
I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything about Mike. So he's still listed. So we got we got Luke. We got a couple. No pads practice. Bucky is still listed as doubtful. Okay. So you got another week of, that's what I was going to ask about. Bucky's back. Do you still feel decent about Sean Tucker and which should be a gettable matchup? You talked about it already. This Buffalo Bills defense, you think about the team, and they got a good team, right? And you just assume, Bills defense probably pretty good. They've been ass against the run. JRich, they've been terrible against the run. I'm going to go look up how bad they've been over the last month. But if Bucky Irving's not playing, how do you feel about Sean Tucker?
I like it a lot. I think Sean Tucker, especially the way he looked against the Patriots, is a very good indicator as to how good he could be against the Buffalo Bills. The Patriots are still one of the best run defenses in the NFL. They once again held a running back below 60 yards. Now, Breece Hall did barely get over the 50-yard mark, but Sean Tucker found success against this team. They were able to block up front against this Patriots front. And so I think going against the Bills team, it's going to be a stark difference as to what you're going to face on a consistent basis in terms of the front seven. So, I love Sean Tucker in this matchup. I don't know how high I would necessarily vault him up those ranks because there are some good matchups, some very potential high-scoring games across the board in the NFL this week. But I do think that Sean Tucker is flexible in maybe some of your deeper formats or where you really need to start because the matchup does seem very good and the Bucs are blocking fairly well right now and playing in a very good matchup. The only issue is and Ray, feel free to speak on this, is do we think it's going to be a competitive game from start to finish? You had the Bills. I took the Bucs when we did our predictions for this week.
Yep.
I think it will be competitive, and that's why I do like Tucker. But do you think there's a world where Buffalo can maybe run away with this one against the Bucs?
I don't think so. I don't think there's a runaway. I don't think they can run away with this one. Can they win it? I'm not gonna debate you on that one. But I do not believe that they can run away with this matchup versus Tampa Bay. No, I don't think they can.
Because that's where I think the problem for Tucker is that he is so game script dependent. If they're ahead and they're running the football, then I think it could be a really good game for him. But if it's more neutral, and then definitely if they're down, we probably see less and less Tucker. And so that's where it'll kind of depend on the game flow more than anything else. But he'll definitely get his opportunities, and he probably will look good in those opportunities as well.
Jay, check this out, man. Because we're talking about it. Yards per carry, yards after contact per rush attempt over the last month, Cincinnati Bengals are the worst in the NFL, giving up 4.3 yards after contact per rush attempt. That's 32nd. Buffalo Bills 31st, 3.76. But check this out. Tampa Bay, which you think about as a strong running defense, they're 5th worst in the NFL over there. I'm giving
Henderson
you the data.
Killed them, right? So
they're 5th worst. And then when you look at total defensive rushing EPA over the last month, the Buffalo Bills are 5th worst. Only the Cowboys, the Falcons, the Bengals, and the Giants are worse than them. Tampa Bay at 7.
Yeah, they got killed by Henderson. They really did.
I mean, Henderson didn't do all of that.
And didn't Gibbs also kill them too?
But Tampa Bay's defensive rushing success rate, number 1 in the NFL over the last month. Number 1 in the NFL. So they've given up some big plays. They've, as you said, they've gotten gashed, but still a tough run defense. And because of that, that's why I don't think they can run away with it. You need Cook the ball out alongside Josh Allen. I think this is a good game. This is one of the better matchups on the weekend. So I'm excited for this Buffalo Tampa Bay game. All right, Jay, we got to take a quick break, and then we will close out the show with some questions, engage with the chat. Appreciate y'all being in the building. Hit the thumbs up button, like the stream, and we will be right back after the break. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the show. This is Wake Up with Ray and Jay every Monday, every Wednesday, and every single Friday. And I just want to say I appreciate everybody that's in the stream, rocking out with us. I know we're in the dog days of the season. It's going close to holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, end of the year, all that good stuff. So much love to everybody out there that pulls up, taps in with us. Check out the content on the other channel, DDFFB, and subscribe to the podcast feed. There are shows that may not hit YouTube, that may not hit a stream, that end up on the pod feed. So make sure you subscribe to the Wake Up with Ray and Jay podcast feed and the DD Radio fantasy football feed. Subscribe to both of those. Jay, let's go to chat. I see a couple of questions in here. We did have a super chat. Check this one out, Jay. This is, would you give Jahmyr Gibbs, George Pickens, Stephon Diggs, and Travis Etienne for Justin Jefferson, Rashee Rice, and RJ Harvey? This is the Amar 36. JRich, you see the question on the on the screen. Would you give that up for Jefferson, Rice, and Harvey? Gibbs, Pickens, Diggs, and Etienne.
Gibbs, Pickens, Diggs, and Etienne. I think so. The only issue is like Jefferson isn't playing like Justin Jefferson.
I would not.
But you do get Rice.
I'm giving up Gibbs and Pickens.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it.
I'm not that concerned about giving up Pickens though. Like Pickens is
why?
Whatever to me.
Fifth in the NFL in receiving yards. He's coming off of a bye. He's scoring.
I know you love yourself some George Pickens. He's fine. He's a good receiver. He could be Justin Jefferson down the stretch.
Justin Jefferson could be George Pickens for the season because he's outproduced Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson could be George Pickens.
Trust me, I am aware. Right? Jefferson is not who we thought he could be. And to be fair, we did talk about this, whether Jefferson could be this good with JJ McCarthy. It's a tough trade. I think you are probably giving up too much, though. It's not. If you believe in RJ Harvey, that's the X factor here because Jefferson is a very stable asset, at least currently. I think that could change in the short term. Rashee Rice looks great, obviously, every single week. Dope. Probably only getting better. And then if you really like RJ Harvey, maybe, but it is a lot to give up, right? I think if you could drop
good.
Etienne or
I'm
Diggs,
giving up.
It's closer.
I'm good. I'm good. I'll take Gibbs, Pickens, Diggs, and Etienne. I would love Rashee Rice. Like out of all the players in that deal, you know who I want is Rice. Can I give you Pickens? I'd give up Pickens, Diggs, and Etienne for Rice and something. I wouldn't. Here's what I'm not going to do. I don't want to pay the tax to get Justin Jefferson. I think that's the issue. I want Rice. I really don't care if I have Jefferson right now or not with Gibbs.
His value is up here. His production is like way the hell down.
He's got more name than game right now. So I would try to figure out what I would do is try to figure out a way to get Rashee Rice without giving up Jahmyr Gibbs. You know what I mean? That's somebody else just said it. Give up Etienne and Pickens. You may have to give up something else, but I would try to do that to give up Rice. I'm not trying to give up Gibbs. I'm good on that. I don't want to give up Gibbs. Yeah, some other people. This is split. Gibbs side for me handily. That's what I said. Watch out. That's what I said. I was like, I'm good with Gibbs and Pickens, but good debate because it's split in the chat. Split in the chat. We're not doing all this draw. I know it. Is this redraft dynasty? What are the settings? I need to know roster size. Nah, man. We just looking at the trade on face value, and I think Gibbs is enough. So, Jay, what else am I gonna ask? We had another super chat right here. RIP to my who's this?
Probably Doberman.
To his what?
Probably a Doberman, bro.
Doberman Pinscher? Oh man. Leo. Sorry, dude. Sorry about that. And Jay, I know you're allergic to dogs, so you don't have those. I know Rhea does, but yeah, very tough when you lose a member of the family. So shout out to your Doberman Pinscher Titan, man. I know that's tough on you, man. So appreciate you being here, and I hope all is well. And great memories with the family pet. I definitely get that. All right, Jay. Any other games you want to touch on before we get out of here today? We've got a nice slate this weekend. This is a good matchup this weekend of just teams, players, situations. I think the Atlanta-Carolina game. I'm excited to see the running backs. I'm excited to see the running backs in that game. I don't give a shit about who wins the game. I want to see Rico Dowdle versus Bijan Robinson. I want to see two of the top running backs in the NFL right now go get it. This Falcons team just gave up 250 to the Colts, and then we know Carolina likes to give it up left and right. So I want to see Bijan get it going. I think Rico Dowdle's going to do his thing. I got him pegged as a top 5 back on the week. I think he outproduces Bijan. But I think the big thing is I want to see Robinson get going in this one.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see. I'm with you. I think that Dowdle's going to outproduce Bijan. Bijan's usage has been very questionable. I mean, you could say multiple weeks, but might as well just say the entire season, because he had that stretch where he was running really hot, playing very well, and then for some reason, they kind of got away from it, went back to Algier, and you're like, what is this team doing? And you can clearly look to why they're, 3-6 right now on the year, because they just are not utilizing their best players correctly.
Well, they are utilizing him. He is getting touches. He is getting opportunities. He's just not getting in the end zone. He's just not getting. He had 17 carries for 84 yards last week. So his usage isn't the problem. It's where he's being deployed is the bigger issue.
I think you can say that if you want, but I think we all know that they could lean on the run even heavier than they have, because Penix is not playing overly well either, right? And that's where you do need balance in the NFL, of course, but when you're playing against a team like the Carolina Panthers, you don't need to throw the ball 30 times. Like, just run the football. Use Algier sparingly. Use Bijan 25, maybe even 30 times if you have to. That's exactly what Indianapolis did, and they found success doing so. So I understand where you're coming from, and you're not going to say 17 carries isn't enough, but with how poorly this team is playing at times, they could definitely utilize Bijan even more, because he is their best player, right? And when you're losing games, it's like, why aren't you utilizing your best player much more than they have? I picked the Panthers in this game. I think they're going to win this game. I just don't trust Atlanta at all. I like the way Rico's playing. I think Bryce Young can throw for his 100 yards, convert a couple third downs, and it'll be enough to win over the Falcons, because the Falcons just aren't a very good team right now. And like you talked about with the Bills, they are a terrible run defense.
Oh, yeah.
They're one of the worst run defenses in the NFL, and playing like it week after week, and now playing against Jonathan Taylor isn't going to help that. But even before that, they weren't having a lot of success either. But they are one of the best pass defenses in the NFL. It's just because of that, they allow a lot on the ground. And fortunately for the Panthers, that benefits them greatly.
Derek said Bryce Young will go nuclear in this one.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
I don't know about that one, though. I mean, Bryce has had 200 plus yards one time this season, once, which is
nuclear for Bryce Young 202 touchdowns,
which is insane. Like, you're an NFL starting quarterback. What are you doing? People asking about Chuba Hubbard, what to do with Hubbard at this point. Do I still hold on to him? I have Reed on IR. If he comes off, I'm down to Hubbard or Gadsden to drop. I wouldn't drop a run. I wouldn't drop Chuba. If anything, Rico's been banged up all year too. I mean, Rico's getting banged up every single game, but he's figuring out ways to get back on the field. He's the backup running back in Carolina right now, no doubt about it. And when Reed comes off of IR, how great do you feel about him in Green Bay?
I think that's the question: is would you rather stash Hubbard as the backup, or would you rather stash Reed, hoping he's the key to kind of help out this offense, move them forward? I kind of don't mind taking the bet on Reed there, because you just, without an injury, Hubbard's not going to play and do anything. But if you want to stash him, by all means, go for it, right? I don't hate stashing Reed, though. I think Reed could be good.
What are your expectations? Here's the thing. If Reed's back on the field at his best, we've already seen him be just a complimentary piece. He can score some touchdowns, but they don't feed him. They don't use him down the field, but maybe once every other game. If something were to happen to Dowdle, it's Chuba Hubbard time. Like, he's right back to where he was, getting the ball 20-something times a game. So
yeah.
I don't really trust any Green Bay pass catcher, to be honest with you, outside of Tucker Kraft. Outside of Tucker Kraft, I don't trust one. I would rather have the backup running back and a run-first offense over the fourth option on a team that really doesn't even throw the ball that much.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
I feel like they're kind of the same bets, depending on your construction. Who else do you have at running back versus receiver?
Receivers, right? Do you need that potential fill-in receiver?
Yeah.
Or do you need that potential? Because the thing is that at least Reed, you're not going to want to flex him. You're not going to want to start him in that third wide receiver spot, but at least you can when he's back, because he will be on the field, versus Hubbard, who's not going to be on the field, because it's not like Carolina is going to get so up in a game that they can turn the ball to Chuba Hubbard at the end.
Yeah. I've just been frustrated with the way that Green Bay, and it has nothing to do with Reed, the talent, Reed, the player, but have we not seen for 3 years how they use him? Nothing's changed. Like, nothing has changed how they use him. Now you got more bodies in the mix, and I don't even know what kind of team Green Bay is. We thought they were the best damn team in the NFL after they beat the Lions week 1, and it's just kind of been a roller coaster of up and down for Green Bay since that moment, Jay. You know, who are they? Who are the Packers? Is this really a true contender? Are they? Do you think Green Bay is a true Super Bowl caliber team right now?
I think they are a Super Bowl caliber team because they have a Super Bowl caliber defense, right? And I'd ask you the same questions about like Denver, right? Do we think they're a Super Bowl caliber team? And it's like, well, if their offense played half decent, maybe. But if they're not, and they're going to play the way they've been playing, then probably not. I think Green Bay is kind of in a similar boat. It's that we know the defense is very good. It's just how good is the offense going to play? Because they definitely have a defense that is worthy of Super Bowl caliber. It's just you still need an offense to score points and help you win games, which both Denver and Green Bay have not been able to do.
Talk about Chicago, Minnesota.
Ooh, the revenge game.
The revenge game.
Caleb
Talk about it.
Williams.
We talked about this on BR. We both picked Chicago, right? We both picked Chicago.
I hate that we both picked Chicago, but I knew you'd pick Chicago. I couldn't not pick Chicago in this game. I love the Bears. I love that they're going to get their revenge over Minnesota. Now, we did talk about, I don't know if we talked about on the stream or not, but Chicago has not beaten Minnesota in the last 6 matchups. So it is a big game. They obviously lost at home in dramatic fashion when your boy, JJ McCarthy, won Player of the Week, week 1.
Player of the Week.
First start, JJ McCarthy, Player of the Week.
On 6 completions. And he won that Player of the Week.
Dealing with that hand injury. DJ Moore could be back in this game. He is practicing. You know, there's the talk in the chat about the Luther Burden breakout. It may be coming. We'll see. But Roman's back at practice. He's going to play. DJ Moore with his shoulder injury also back at practice yesterday. Probably going to play as well. But the big key for me is going to be how well can this rushing game play against this Vikings defense. Is it going to be the Monangai show? Is it going to be Swift? Probably a combination of the two. I think if they can get the running game going, it will open up things in the pass, and hopefully all those passes don't go to a lot of Zacchaeus over the middle, because we know that Brian Flores likes to have a hole in the middle of that offense.
They got to stop that shit. They've got to stop that. They've got to stop that. Right now, Zacchaeus is second, JRich, on the team in targets, second on the team in receptions, and fourth in yards. Yep. Second in targets, second in receptions, fourth in yards, and he's played one more game than the tight end Colston Loveland and Luther Burden, and they just keep throwing Olamide Zacchaeus the ball and just give him 4 damn rush attempts as well. I think the big X factor is going to be the legs of Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams is going to find a lot of success running the ball. They need to run him more. He's fast, he's explosive, he's got a cannon of an arm. Run Caleb Williams. I think he's the X factor. End us with JJ McCarthy. How's he do? I
think he's going to suck, honestly. I don't think he's going to play very well.
Rich.
Ray, we talk about it every week. He had one good quarter against the Bears. Like, I don't know what people think is going to happen, but he's already dealing with a hand injury. I'm sure, like Caleb, those scripted plays, man, he's going to look dynamite. Going to look like he's on fire. But it's not like he's looked good even at home. He got absolutely worked by the Falcons at home. He got worked by the Baltimore Ravens. They got worked by the Eagles, too. It's just, I don't know, man. At home, for whatever reason, Minnesota's not played overly well, and I think the Bears have played well enough that Caleb Williams indoors is going to be very interesting. Like, he has not played that many games indoors, and obviously all the games they play at home are outside, right? They played at home against the Giants. They played at Cincinnati, at Baltimore, versus New Orleans, at Washington, at Vegas. So he hasn't had a game indoors since week 4. Right? So I think, this could open things up for the passing game, make things a little bit easier for him. I'm very excited to see how he plays on that turf because Minnesota is a great venue. Drusy in the chat saying he's going to be at the game. I think Caleb could put on a show, and I think he's going to want to because he lost that first game week 1 against the Vikings.
Hey, Luke, you can't use my tool against me. Luke said, Ray, you made that damn Trinity tool for the usage. Trust it. Olamide Zacchaeus, trust it. I just went to check, Luke. He ain't good. He's 4th in the pecking order in Trinity, so I'm not going to trust it. His name doesn't even pop up. He's got like a 4 usage score. I do trust it. That's why I'm going to pivot to other options in the Chicago Bears passing attack, but I love the fact that you brought up the Trinity. All right, JRich, hit the music. That's the show for today, man. That's the show for today. We gave y'all not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 streams this week with a 3-hour mega stream last Wednesday. Go check out that show on DDFFB. Check out all the content over there. Dynasty Deals Show, All Gas Trade Show, Dynasty Takeaway Show, Manic and Chill with Scott and Shane. And then right here on this channel, we wake up every Monday, every Wednesday, Friday. 2026 round 1 mock draft dropping later today. More content, college football, NFL draft, all of that great stuff right here. I appreciate every eye, each and every ear that's in the building. Hit the thumbs up button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're checking it out for the first time. We have a good time every single time. JRich, anything you want to say to good people before we get out of here?
No, everyone have a good weekend. Enjoy a lot of great football, and we'll see you guys on Monday. We're out. Peace.
See y'all. Have a good weekend, man. We love y'all. Out.